All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. Welcome, Pirate Council. May our tall tales please you. When last we left our heroes, they'd been making their way through Motherhorn, the theatre in Yon, to find one of the three hags, or one of the two remaining hags, I guess I should say, to undo a pact she had made, or to fulfill a pact that she had made with Sorn. In the process, our fearless party, our fearless crew, were pulled on stage and had to perform a terrible, tragic theatre production, The Lusty Aarakocran, of which they performed very admirably. I think we're just counting up. There's only only 3 natural 20s in that skill challenge. I think there was only one roll below 15.
And it was me.
It was Sorn. From here, the standing ovation, not a dry eye or seat in the house. And the party was going to continue traveling their way through Motherhorn, through this theatre, and I believe attempt to find the hag, as well as potentially find something about their future, and also potentially find a lost thing that Pauly has noticed, sort of the itching on the top of his scalp. Was there anything else that I missed there of what your goals are this session?
Not to die.
Very important.
Admirable.
For everyone, and specifically Katie, who was not here last session, here is what the theatre looks like from the outside, the building you're currently in.
It is dope.
Ooh. I do remember this, actually. You showed this.
Yeah.
The session prior.
And the house lights have gone down, allowing all of you to kind of make your way off stage and sort of strut your stuff through the different areas. Where would you like to head?
Weren't we going up to see Sorn?
Oh, I jumped down, remember?
Yeah, Sorn came down onto the stage with you.
Yeah, you came on the stage.
And on the chandeliers.
Everywhere. It was a mess.
So the open air, I'll re-describe the open air amphitheater carved from the slope of the mountaintop. The short cloaked figures sitting on tiered stone benches facing the stage. Enclosing the stage are 10-foot high stone walls, above which you can see the stormy sky, but you're protected from any of that rain or craziness. Up in the rafters, there's a team of masked goblins who are now, pulling the curtains down and turning off lights and moving things around up there. And the lighting has been, that was on that sort of intricate contraption above you, the weird mega chandelier, is sort of being dimmed. Everything in here seems to be powered by some kind of magic. It has sort of a thrum to it. Sorn, you particularly have noticed that this is all powered by lightning. And I think you've seen kind of the source of the lightning rods that take the storm from the sky and channel it through many different sort of artifice devices. And you can hear, as the crowd sort of starts to go quiet and starts murmuring, waiting for perhaps the intermission, getting their popcorn and salted nuts and so on. You can hear the sort of clanking of metal and chains from underneath you, as props are being moved back and forth between the basement and the stage.
I believe we were going to try and I was going to try and lead everyone up to see our scary host.
Yeah, I think Yama is just kind of like walking very confidently behind you, almost as if this is like to be expected, and he's just kind of like putting it on a bit as well. Because he's got his charisma buff at the moment too, so he's just kind of like leaning into it, like swaggering towards the.
He's doing the Toby Maguire.
Yes.
And so, like, you know, you were mentioning obviously like Pauly's got that little lost feeling. Can I do like a perception check to see if there's like that's even more refined? Like, and I might have a direction as to where that's going to be.
Sure. Give me yeah, I'll accept a perception or even an insight check.
23.
Very good. Yeah, you definitely feel the feeling of this is coming from somewhere above you, sort of somewhere upstairs.
Sure. I'll just tell the party, like, I feel like I'm missing something, guys, and I think it's upstairs somewhere.
Is it like
No,
what Yama and I had?
Yeah, absolutely.
What, do you know what it is at all?
No, not a clue.
Okay.
Well, luckily, we're going upstairs.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Follow me. And I'll lead the way through that weird library.
Yep. So where's my notes here? Just so everyone else is, as you pass through the library, I'll describe. This magnificent hall is lined with stone bookshelves, housing a library of leather-bound tomes. There are 3 elderly, bespectacled goblins climbing ladders to fetch books for 3 slender, cloaked figures who are reading while seated in overstuffed armchairs. So they're going up, putting up ladders, going up, pulling books off the shelf, bringing them over to a stack of these 3 who are kind of reading through them, and then occasionally they'll hand a book back, and the goblin has to go find and where to put it back. All the books themselves look very similar. Sort of 8 inches tall, 3 inches wide, spineless. It's just sort of black wooden covers and yellow pages held together by copper twine. And the image of an hourglass is burned into the front cover of each book. And carved into the wood above it is a smaller symbol that resembles a chicken's foot.
Hmm. I'll point out, but like, I don't know about these books. There's people there. Probably shouldn't steal them.
Definitely don't destroy them.
You know, I didn't think.
Pauly puts a book back and puts his flame away, his little wicker away.
Do you read the book at all, or you just have you just chosen a book at random?
A book at random.
Okay. Have you looked at the pages, or were you just like closed? You were about to set it on fire.
Yeah, just closed. I was about to set it on fire. I was like,
Fair
okay.
enough. That's cool.
Well, apparently Dan's had some thinking about these books and there's backstory to them. So let's move on. We'll come back to it. We'll circle back. I'll be like, follow me. We're going up these stairs.
I don't think we'll be able to after we do what we do.
We'll figure it out.
Yama's not interested in books.
Pauly doesn't read books.
Sorn loves books.
Wait, I know. I think that's why the books were there.
Yeah, they're his.
Gonna be.
Yeah, the tiles aren't working. I'll just have to move you. Let's just delete you all.
Ooh, rude.
I'm dead.
Now, were you going up to the uppermost floor or the middle floor?
I want to give everyone a guide through. So the middle floor first.
Yeah. Cool. Yama.
Hey.
Pauly. And Karu.
And I'm just gonna. I'll point it out to the contraption. I'll be like, "This thing fucking hurts."
What do you mean fucking hurts?
Like Karu's got
Just-
his hand out, like, what, don't touch it?
Definitely don't touch it. It hurt me a lot. Anyway, I was just giving you the warning of this thing, and now we continue up.
So you all see, I'll describe it for everyone.
Mhm.
This cylindrical chamber houses a whirring contraption bolted to a revolving metal disc that serves as its base. Metal spheres and sickles are attached to the ends of long metal arms that sweep back and forth, clicking loudly and rhythmically like the hands of a giant metronome. The apparatus is inlaid with characters from strange alphabets, and smoky wisps in the shapes of these letters rise from the contraption as it revolves. The whole device hums and crackles with lightning. Rising from the middle of the mechanism is an 80-foot tall copper pole made of 8 10-foot-long lightning rods attached end to end. It extends upwards past a ring-shaped gallery that forms the chamber's upper level, through a hole in the 50-foot-high domed ceiling. 3 goblins wearing overalls and tinted goggles use brooms to sweep the floor, seemingly untroubled by the noise. And it looks a little bit like this. Did that work? No. Try this.
Suspense. Ooh.
Ooh, cool.
So everyone playing at home, this is the device, and so it's moving around like an orrery, right? So the state of the planets orbiting each other, the moons, the position of the sun, and so on. Obviously crackling with lightning, and then these huge poles blasting up 80 foot high into the storm above. And above this main room is sort of what looks like a sort of a circular balcony for a level above. And for those who remember, this is the device Sorn attempted to touch in the middle, and you could easily see that if you weren't dexterous enough and duck, dip, dive, and dodged these things as they spin around, that they would absolutely smack you and potentially do a shit ton of damage.
And smacked I got.
So
right across the room.
DB, you learned last week, right, that she was like predicting the future, and this was the device
Mm-hmm.
she was using? Okay, cool.
I was trying to corrupt it, and it tried to kill me.
How are
Is
you
the
trying to corrupt
only
I have lightning magic. It uses lightning magic. I was going to try and pump my lightning magic into it.
he's gonna
right.
corrupt it with his dirty fingers,
Instead, I got pumped into the ground at you guys.
his dirty ruffles.
While
hands.
we were getting pumped downstairs. Yeah, fair.
Yeah. And then I'm like, all right, well, I mean, this room, this area, I don't think we go in here. Like, it was painful. And then
Is
I'll
that-
continue up.
Is the only knowledge check for this room like Arcana or something?
Well, it depends. What are you trying to
Could I
ascertain?
just roll a perception check and kind of see that it is like the Fey realm, not where we came from, or something like that? Would that be
Okay, so
good?
sort of a like, what are these planets and so on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'll accept maybe like a history check
Okay.
or
I
a
don't have
religion
history, but I'll
check.
do it. Oh, why don't I have religion? I'm a paladin.
Because I think it's not so much about like, because you can see it all pretty well. I don't think you're trying to just see this thing. I think you're
Yeah.
trying to compare it to learnings you've had about.
No, it totally makes sense. I just hope I not 13.
I think you recognize some of the things in the orrery. Some just don't make sense though. But you definitely see like an orb that's being surrounded by 2 moons. That you're like, oh yeah, that could be Toril, where you're from, like the planet you guys come from.
Right.
But then there's like other bits, and as it turns, it's then two other orbs come and orbit it for a while, then leave. Maybe that has to do with the Feywild and Shadowfell, perhaps, but or other realms that get close. But then there's others that you just don't recognize whatsoever.
Yeah,
So you
okay.
So it encompasses where you're from and perhaps this realm too, but
More,
it's also looking
yeah.
at a more cosmic scale, perhaps.
Cool. Well, Yama probably says that, like, oh, I think I can see us. And then I don't recognize these other places.
Mm.
Do you point out?
All
one
I
of
see
these?
is pain.
Yeah, I'm sure he points to it like, well, I think that's us there, where we're from. Do you guys recognize anything else?
I mean,
Um,
I'll look.
Yeah, I'd probably look as well, honestly.
Anyway, and
I
in
feel like I
general,
might have an idea.
Sorn's just going to point out like a singe mark and be like, I can see me.
Is it like a man with like burn mark around the on the wall?
Yeah, it's a very skinny shadow of dust.
Yep. Well, that's me. Funnily enough, right next to where we're from. Wow. What are the odds?
Oh yeah, I'll roll a history check as well. If that's okay.
Sure, yeah.
We do that?
I'm gonna do it too.
No. Oh, don't worry about it. 4.
I don't think I can use smell for this history check.
I mean,
You
you
just
do
smell
get
the
a bit of that
burnt
burnt
flesh.
hair smell,
Yeah.
but specifically coming from Sorn, not from the
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that actually interferes with my ability to do a good check. It's like, oh.
If everyone else is checking it out, I might check it out again and just
Sure.
like
Uh,
bump on into my storm blood and see what I can pick up with an Arcana check.
So with a 13, Karu, I think you're sort of on par with Yama in you can definitely see like your world, but then there's other worlds that you don't recognize. The sort of the realms that circle yours kind of make sense. As I mentioned, like Feywild, Shadowfell, you see other small orbs that kind of rotate around it or above it, or sometimes even seemingly pass through it. Those might be sort of the elemental planes or something like that. But the other ones you don't really recognize beyond just going, okay, maybe there's other worlds or other realms that you haven't been taught about. Sorn, with that 19 Arcana, you definitely notice. I mean, you know that this thing hurts. And is powered by magic. You think you could shut down the contraption with like an anti-magic field, or maybe like a dispel magic could shut it down for a brief period of time. And on a meta level, you're pretty certain that trying to touch this thing without taking some kind of precautions or getting hit by this thing would probably deal a shit ton of lightning damage. But that might just be from experience. That might not be your...
That's definitely experience. I should have tried to counterspell it when it hit me. Zap it back.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd knock out all the power too, and she'd be wise to us.
Yeah. But I will relay... I won't relay that yet because she is currently reading the future.
But there are other, obviously, corridors and rooms that lead off of that circular orrery, and there's like another corridor that leads down to the west as well from where you are.
I'll say, well, what do we want to do? I do believe we should probably go and speak to her rather quickly, because I think she is expecting us.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
I'm up for that. Yeah.
And then we'll come back and branch out and have a look around.
We also better keep an eye out for the thing that Pauly's sensing, even though we don't know what it is.
Oh yeah, Pauly, does that thing that the tingles you've got? I think you should get them checked. But which direction?
Yeah. Can I? Will I still have an idea?
Give me another check.
Guidance.
Doesn't matter. Natural 20, baby. 28.
Oh, very good. Yeah, you're very in tune. You think it's on this floor. In fact, you think it's in a room nearby here.
Ooh.
Which way?
Yeah, I'm going to come back if it's on this floor.
Which way?
To the north.
To the north. Up here then.
North.
Whee! Is there room for me to maneuver by, or do I need to do it?
Yeah, if you stick around the edges, you're fine.
Okay.
For sure.
Who's that guy there? Little goblin boy.
So these goblins are wearing sort of like welder's goggles and are walking around. You see that he has a name tag on him. And it says Dungus.
G'day, Dungus. How are you, mate?
He just looks up at you through the goggles. You can't tell like sort of the expression on his face because he's sort of covered in he's like super tanned from like being in this lightning room, and then he's just got like these thick black welder's goggles on, and perhaps a bit of a permanent scowl. And he kind of just looks up at you as he's sort of sweeping an area that you just walk through where he's just swept.
Yep. I'm gonna panache him. I'm gonna panache him.
Yeah.
So that way he's just charmed by us. You know what I mean? He's just like,
Sure.
they're all right. Do you want to do an insight again? Or do you want to do roll it?
Do I got to roll his insight versus your charisma?
Yes, against my persuasion.
Okay. He got a 9.
25.
Yeah, so he, as you strut past, you know, like, you know, a star after you've come off stage, just filled with that confidence.
The after sex glow, yep.
Yeah, he lifts up the goggles. He's got like pale, like lines, the sort of raccoon eyes of where the goggles were as he just turns to watch you go. The broom kind of falls out of his hand as he just watches you go, ignoring everyone else. And it's just sort of starstruck as you lope by him.
Oh yeah, just keep walking. Just say, "G'day, Dungus, how are you, mate?" And then keep going.
He's like, he knows my name. Cool. You enter into this room.
Mm-hmm.
The walls of this chamber are jet black with gold painted scrollwork where the walls meet the ceiling and each other. Ornate high-backed armchairs face a raised dais, and an alcove at the back of the dais is half hidden by a black curtain. And there's sort of like a couple of seats in here, sort of facing the raised dais.
Right.
Can I inspect the scroll work?
Sure. Yeah.
Arcana?
No, I think maybe investigation.
All right, investigation. I'm so good at those.
I mean, I'm standing next to him. Could I also do an investigation? Like I'm
Absolutely.
like trying to read the soldier.
Yeah.
So,
Words.
Huh. 20.
Yeah, what's going on to the dais? Just
Sure. Now you read Elvish, I assume, being a sea
do.
elf. Yeah.
Yes.
Unfortunately, with the 3 investigations, Sorn, perhaps because of the background interference of the lightning in the room behind you, you don't really like. It's almost like you're night blind now. You know, you've come out of this incredibly bright room and you've come in here, and it's just really hard to like focus your eyes on this scroll work. But Karu, you see a bunch of stuff, almost like written in sort of Elvish prose, and it tells of the death and rebirth of Enderlin Moongrave. It says, you know, that she written like in the third person, so like Enderlin Moongrave has died, but she'll rise again. She has seen her future and changes her future. Only the eclipse is what she is what will become her end. And yeah, just a lot of like moon and sun kind of words about the moon and sun shall never meet. An Enderlin Moongrave shall never die.
I think Kara's just like, who's Enderlin Moongrave? Does anybody know? Apparently
No
she
idea.
can't die.
Do I know?
Actually, that name sounds familiar.
Is it
Is that
bad?
the? Yeah.
Yes, I think you probably all you've heard her referred to as like other names, but you could certainly make that leap.
Well, I
I
think
will be. Sorry, I'll be right back. I'm just going to run downstairs and get my food.
Oh, good.
On the dais, or Pauly, you were kind of investigating this room a little bit more. There's that sort of little cloth curtain hiding an alcove.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I'm probably going to go open up that door. Like, so do I feel like it's coming from this way still?
Yes, so it's a curtain, so you can pull it aside.
I will. I'll pull it aside.
Okay. You feel a bit of a tingling on your fingers as you pull open the thing. Behind there is sort of like a wardrobe open without doors, and inside are a bunch of marionettes that resemble you and your companions. On the Pauly marionette, it's sort of made of wood. So it's got red and yellow and green painted wood as if it's got feathers, but it's just made of wood, except for on the top of its head there are a little patch of red feathers on the top of it, giving it a bit of a sort of a cockatoo crest.
It's actually, I've decided as well, it's actually like a feather mullet. So like it's a top part there and then it just extends down. He definitely would have a feather mullet, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Bit of a bogan. Pauly's really excited. Like I think other than by accident, you guys haven't really seen Pauly's hat off, but he takes his hat off and just pops it onto just drops it onto the ground and then puts the feathers back on his head.
Mm-hmm. You feel the feathers kind of melt back in, like cracking an egg on your scalp. Kind of you feel them like liquid or like a shampoo kind of go into the rest of your hair and fuse back into place. That bald spot on the top of your head is no longer there. It's covered in this crest of feathers.
Pauly just has like a slow motion movement, like where he's like his mullet is just like swaying in the wind as he shakes it.
And a memory flashes back to you of your time in captivity when you were sort of being raised and being taken out on your first adventures as a pirate on the cloud ship. Do you want to describe to me one of those sort of young memories that Pauly has that perhaps comes back to him of, and I'm thinking in particular of the captain.
One?
Yeah, sort of like being actually, like, even though you were a prisoner, like being actually like a father, kind of, he had his moments where he was like... I actually like to think, this is, I probably should have discussed this with you. Sure.
I don't think there's any moments where he would be fatherly, but I believe there was a crew member who was.
Oh, yeah, I love that. Yeah. Give me
right,
that.
so I don't believe that he, the captain himself, was ever that. So, Pauly is swabbing the deck because he made a mess because he got scared.
Yeah.
He was probably, I think, at this point, a year and a half old, but for Ara Cochrane's, that's basically like being around 10. So he was cleaning the deck because he got scared because he got, and then the captain wrapped him across the head with his knuckles, and it's told to go do it faster because he doesn't like his deck being messy.
It's a big deck too.
Yeah, and the bosun kind of comes up to Pauly and goes, "Oh, look, he's not all bad. You just got to make sure you don't get him on a bad day." Pauly goes, "Well, I haven't seen him on a good day. When's his good day?" The bosun chuckles to himself. "He'll have a good day. Just do the job right and do it like this." And he starts showing him a way to do it. Takes the mop off him and starts showing him the way to mop the deck properly and swab it all properly. And go and then that fades away as they're helping him. And all you hear is Pauly's chains rattle as he swaps the deck.
And I love that the bosun, were they what kind of creature were they?
The bosun, let's say he was a hobgoblin.
Mm-hmm. And I like to think that, and correct me if I'm wrong as I'm inserting these things, that the tail end of that memory is perhaps that bosun, while Pauly is still young, one time when they're shored up somewhere, took him off the ship and took him out on a bit of an excursion to perhaps get him some clothes that fit or something like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it was at that time that Pauly did get lost, or perhaps even went to I don't know if they went to the carnival, but there was some sort of getting lost moment. Pauly, lost that bit of himself, and then was found later by the bosun and brought back to the ship. yes, you remember that moment now, and now realize that, yes, it was all pretty bad, but there was perhaps one person on there who wasn't a total asshole.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
On that ship for sure.
That's so cute. Baby
Cool.
Pauly.
So yeah, the rest of your marionettes that look like everyone else. There's a little Karu one with extra strings for the tentacles, like and they're like kind of wooden jointed tentacles. There's a Yama one, but it's like Yama in his like old armor. Hasn't been updated yet to the new model. She's got last season's minifig.
Not the fresh golden Yama.
That's right.
Do we take this as a sign that she knows we're coming? Yes, right? Team?
I mean, she can see the future.
Yeah, but she's got my armor wrong here, so...
Yeah, but like maybe she saw, maybe she just didn't have any gold paint.
Yeah, that's
Or
possible.
maybe it's not that she saw the future. Maybe she saw a future that wasn't like this one, but like she knew. Like, how big are the marionettes? Are they like life size?
No. They're sort of like a stuffed teddy bear size, or like a.
I want to take mine.
Sure.
I want mine.
I want to take mine too. I
wanna
don't
take-
like her having it.
I just wanted its kid.
Pauly will take his as well, obviously.
Yeah. Cool. All right, where to, Gumshoe?
We're going back up.
Up.
As you head back out, there's sort of like an announcement that comes out over the loudspeakers. The same, that little goblin that kind of hustled you on stage calls out the next and for the next presentation, the next act shall be Blight Straws Fall, and you hear like a kind of overture start playing of some music and stuff like that.
I think we better hurry, otherwise her attention is going to be elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You're all heading up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm going to put my marionette, by the way, in my bag of holding as well.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't have a bag of holding. It's just gonna.
Can I put mine in yours, Captain?
Yeah, can I do that too?
Absolutely.
It's kind of creepy. I just don't want her having it, but I don't
That's
want it.
I don't want her to know that I've taken it. I feel
Yeah,
like
all good.
she can't always see the future.
Yeah,
Or
we're like
whatever.
walking in holding her marionettes. Like we've just gone around in her house snooping on all her stuff.
Yep, no worries.
Thank you. Thank you. Ooh.
Tis this.
Oh, this is the balcony.
Yeah, so this is the balcony kind of looking down on that
How
chamber
am I
where you were
controlling
before.
Lot? What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Oh, did I put her like on top of you? No.
I don't know. I'm not actually walking off the balcony. Just
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's a bit narrow. So here, looking down on sort of like a viewing gallery, a stone railing that encloses a ring-shaped balcony, and the balustrades sort of around it are shaped like hourglasses. They're sort of like the emptiness of the negative space of where the columns aren't to hold up the balustrade are kind of hourglass shaped. And you look down and you can see from above the swirling of the orrery below is somewhat, hypnotic. Crackles of lightning, the thrum of the metronome, or the steady tick of that metronome-like quality has a sort of a hypnotic feel to it as you kind of see down there. You don't necessarily like get woozy and fall or anything like that, but you can feel like a draw, like something trying to pull you in mentally as you skirt around it.
Eerie.
mm-hmm.
It's a bit awkward pressing forward without Sorn to make the introductions. Is she in this room? Can we see? Or this is like leads to another hallway?
This leads to a bit of a hallway. There's two rooms, one to the north. You can make out a bit of light kind of under the door of the one above.
I might try to be a bit sneaky and have a little peek in here as well.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, there seems to be no one else up here.
Ew, what is that?
What is in there?
So there's. Ew, what is that?
Yeah.
That's just book. This is like pages.
I'm just peeking through the door, by the way. I'm like,
Actually, yeah. Sorry, I'll say before when you put your hand on the door,
Mhm.
An attempt to open the door. You kind of get the door open, but then sort of a hand of force reaches out and shoves you away from the door. I'm going to need you to make a DC 15 strength saving throw, please.
Oh god.
Ooh.
19.
Yes.
Okay.
Strong.
You are pushed back, but you are not flung over the balcony and into the orrery below.
Probably could have saved myself by flying then too.
Yeah. If any of you attempted this but poorly, it might have ended very badly.
Yeah.
You kind of had two ways to
Save
but
my
yeah, so
ass.
it shoves you back, and then the door closes.
Okay.
You get a brief glimpse. Give me a perception check though, as you were able to kind of push back against the force a little bit. You got a bit of a peek into the room.
25.
All right. So you saw in the room beyond scores of wooden marionettes hanging from the ceiling of an oddly shaped room, the floor of which strewn with play scripts. And inside you see a table, some chests, what looks like a large sort of wardrobe with jade eye embedded in its cornice stands. I don't know what that means. I assume it means what's a cornice? I don't know. It looks. Why don't I just show you this? You got a glimpse of this.
Ooh.
Really?
That's creepy. I love it.
That's so cool.
All right. Well, I don't think we should go in there. Not right now, at least.
Do you mention it?
Yes. Yes.
So maybe Yama is like, is this...
I'll describe what I saw as well.
Do you think it was all the actors whom we met downstairs?
I think so. I think we might have to.
Yeah, if they're trapped here.
Yeah, we might have to, first.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. So was that room just a double door? There's not another room here.
Correct. Yeah. There's just a big double door to that room.
All right. Let's go.
The other thing which you noticed on there, and perhaps notice in the picture, is there are a bunch of hourglasses on the walls of that room with sand flowing through them.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm going to leave that one alone for now. But I'm happy I had a little quick cheeky peek, though. I'll close that door. And, yeah, leave that alone.
Which of the doors near me had like movement behind them? You said one of them you could see like a light.
To the north.
And what about the other one?
You don't see any sort of movement. There's light, but there's not any movement to indicate someone's like in that room.
Maybe we should check that one first.
Yeah, I was like, can I do like, using sound, like listen against the door to see if I can hear anything in it?
Absolutely. Give me a perception check.
Yes, I have advantage because it's sound, but it doesn't matter because it's a +1. 17.
17. You wait a few moments with your ear to the door. You hear sort of the occasionally, like you can hear the lightning and thunder off in the distance. So you think this perhaps leads outside to a certain degree. You can hear sort of the creak of like maybe the 17 sounds maybe like canvas, like and pulleys or something, like a yeah, it's hard to make out what that sound is, but the like the flap of canvas and like a creak of yeah, sorry.
I feel like I'd be reminded of being on the ship, to be honest, with those kinds of sounds.
For sure.
I think I opened the door because of that.
Cool.
What do I see?
This castle turret has a 40-foot high balcony overlooking the amphitheater. You can see that a play is starting to begin down on the stage below you. On the perched on the edge, so like out in the open, is a winged. At first glance, it looks like a creature or like some sort of undead creature. It has a round bird's head with beady eyes and a metal beak and leathery wings folded against its body.
Okay, cool.
Upon closer inspection, it has sort of a seat, like a leather seat on its back, straddling the spine. And all these bones, it doesn't turn its head to you or anything like that. It's just sort of like sitting there, wings furled in, like on the edge of that balcony.
Weird. I wonder if that thing is like loyal to. This is Karu saying this out loud. Like, I wonder if we could ride that thing. Looks like it could fly, obviously.
Yeah, it would definitely be useful.
Really cool.
I mean, Pauly, you don't need to worry about that. You already fly. But like the rest of us could be an
But
experience.
I can appreciate a cool flying device.
All right, I guess she's the other doorway then. We already knew that, but I just want to see what was over here.
Sure.
We're upstairs now, D-Bots.
I'll join in a minute.
Without going onto the balcony, but you kind of peek over a little bit, you see that there's a bunch of goblins on the stage dressed as bullywogs. And they're kind of like dancing and cavorting around a wicker effigy of Bavlorna Blightstraw. And kind of dancing around her. She's as this sort of wicker version of the toad hag is sort of in the middle of the stage. Cool. Are you opening the door? Is D-Bart's opening the door first?
Yeah, D-Bart. I guess D-Bart should open the door first.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to order food because my guy just cancelled my order and bailed.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I'll open the door.
Sure. So you open the door to the viewing chamber. Inside is a large sort of spider-legged creature with sort of multiple hands and a torso that kind of looks like a stage opened up. The sort of cloak part opens up, and it's almost like the torso and the legs aren't connected. And there's sort of like it's almost like she is a stage platform. And it's sort of a skull beneath the veil wearing this sort of big headdress. Enderlin Moongrave turns to look at you as you open the door.
Hey, how you going? I brought you your actors from downstairs.
Yes. The players.
Yeah.
Quite an in-depth tragedy, very intricate and well realized. Tell me, Birdman, is this a tragedy from your own life you shared with us this evening?
It's something I read, then I added my own little flair onto it.
I could taste the anguish and torment of those crossed lovers, always fighting and fucking. I knew the end was going to come bloody and sickening, but when it arrived, yes.
The climax is always the best part, I agree.
And it just got more and more tragic. Young elf, you, and talking to Sorn here, an impromptu display adding to the tragedy itself. Or was that always planned?
We'll never know.
And the other players, you, the dashing paladin, overcoming and putting your barmaid creed to the side to chase after a patron. Devious. And I don't think I've seen you before, she says to Karu.
Yeah, I was backstage. I was helping with the lighting effects and stuff. And you'll know, and he's like wearing all black, and he's still got the headset.
The only able to hear the applause, but not see it or take it for yourself. Tragic. So you've brought me my players, and perhaps look to secure a contract performing every night to a packed house, perfecting your craft, honing your skills. Is that it?
I step out of the way. I'm not an actor.
Can't hear you, Katie.
Okay.
My bad, muted. Yama just kind of like bows and, we're so glad you enjoyed the performance. We did try to make it as tragic as possible. I would love to know the terms of the contract and what is involved.
Well, people come here because they want something, they need something, they desire something. A lot of the people come here looking to improve themselves, find something about themselves, or recover, learn about their future. And in exchange, they stay here, perform their works. I give notes here and there and improve their performances until they're at perfection. And then, of course, they leave to go travel the world and realize their future. So tell me, Master Hobgoblin, would you like to know your future?
I believe the future is unknown to me, and I prefer it that way. I have lived a life dedicated to somebody else's vision of the future, and I am quite content with not knowing mine.
Can you describe for me what Yama is wearing right now, please? Is Yama in his outfit still?
It's so ridiculous. So it's still the really heavy golden armor with this like pink silk kind of gown over the top, and I believe he was wearing like butterfly wings, and he had a tricorn hat on. Yeah, he had a garter belt that was visible, like in a slit in the dress. Yeah.
Where is your helmet?
It was on his belt.
Okay.
Yeah, I did actively say that I wasn't wearing it.
Yep, that's fine. I just wanted to know.
Shame.
And your describe for me your helmet again, if you could.
So it's like a golden, like samurai helmet. So it's got like the sweeping, but at the front is like a golden, like teacup kind of metal stabby thing. And yeah, it's quite like a face armor to it as well.
Cool. So most of the gold, like some of the gold peeks through the pink dress, I assume, but it's mostly covered. That's fine. You're not a shining sunbeam right now.
Yeah, I guess he's done somewhat to mitigate his armorness and try and make himself look more feminine. Maybe that's a cloak or...
And you've got the extra rouge on the...
Yes, exactly, yeah. He's got red cheeks and probably, like, smeared lipstick at this point.
Yeah, perfect. Good. Just curious.
Okay.
She says, a shame you don't want to see your future. I could take a look, you know. Is there not something you pine for, wondering if it will ever happen?
Well, that is true. I would love to know the status of perhaps my future relationship with my son.
Oh. We could look, and I could show you.
And the cost?
Oh, staying here, performing a couple of shows, maybe, let's call it 3 years, a show a week. The time will fly past.
I do have to say I'm very grateful for the offer. I'm pleased you approved of my performance so much that you would have me stay here, but perhaps now is not the time, and perhaps we came on other business.
As you say that, and you say, you know, I'm glad you like my performance, you catch out the side of your eye. Obviously, this balcony overlooks the big theater itself. The goblins dressed as bullywugs, and like really over the top bullywug nobility, but it's very clear that it's still goblins in like outfits, cavorting around this wicker effigy of Bavlorna. You see a tiefling dressed in like a parrot costume enter onto the stage, like overly sneaky, and do like a shh, and then starts like going woo, and lighting like fire starts like lighting up around this wicker version of Bavlorna on stage.
That's so good. Yes, indeed. Perhaps maybe.
But her attention is on you right now. She's not watching this play.
I'm going to just really just try and subvert. Did I see this as well? Just to be as well.
Sure. Yeah. Anyone who's kind of in the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am definitely going to make sure that she is looking everywhere but the stage. You know what? Actually, I'm going to panache her.
Yeah. Okay.
Gonna charm her. Let's go.
So that's her insight, is it?
That's correct.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh no, 17.
She got a 7. She's not very insightful.
Oh well, being able to see the future didn't really help there. Did it?
Her head's in the future, not the present.
Yeah.
So her attention is absolutely on you, Pauly. What do you do?
Oh, just I'm like, I mean, look, you got a great establishment here. I mean, I really enjoyed putting on that play for you. It was great, and I also do not care to know my future, because it is the adventure to get to that future that is the most rewarding part. But thank you for gracing us with your time and presence.
Well, what brings you to my humble theatre, then? Is it just to do one play on your tour? Are you taking this show on the road? If I can't convince you to stay, where do you travel next?
Ooh, we probably should have talked about this before, guys.
Yeah, we needed a game plan.
Yeah, we're really good at this.
Every fucking week.
That's why I just play by the seat of my pants.
But we do well. We do well because of it. I mean, look, the way we see it, right now we're here for a mission for our good drow friend over there. So wherever he needs to go, we go as a party.
Master Drow, what drives you? What is it you seek? Perhaps the...
Got a little handball there?
I told her I didn't know you guys.
Oh, right.
I think with her 7 on the insight, she's not picking up on that misstep at all.
Okay, I'm gonna be like, well, I believe I mentioned earlier. I'm here to deliver something to Bavlorna.
Oh yes, my dear sister, down in the dumps. And you gave her a picture of herself, didn't you? Yeah.
Yes,
so that's now hung up on the wall behind her. It's kind of a it's weird, it's seeing her in the flesh, but then also seeing a version of her in sort of a semi-animated portrait behind her as well. You're getting this sort of double vision.
I like to imagine it's a caricature. Like they went down to the Melbourne show, and one of those guys drew them with like giant heads. That's all I see.
I love that. That's all you see. Yeah, that's Sorn only. Like, Drow can see at night, but when they look at pictures, it's only in cartoons. Everyone else, you see a very lifelike painting of Vendel and Moon.
Sounds like I don't understand why anyone would want a picture like this of themselves. Like, it's really embarrassing.
That's incredible.
Yeah, he's like,
can read every language due to his devil's eyes, but his devil's eyes have like made it so that art is useless to him now.
Yeah, he only likes knowledge. He doesn't care for art at all.
The sacrifice he
And
made.
tiny ships in bottles. He loves those. He thinks those things are sick. That's the only kind of art that he's into.
Yeah, it's like in a dream when you've tried to examine like a TV screen or like a painting or something, and it just doesn't resolve properly because like your brain isn't making that thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I've had to bring something for Bevlorna. I've given you your wonderful gift up on the wall there. Just that is my mission.
Well, they're doing a play about her right now.
Are they?
Are they? But her attention is just on Pauly, I think, thanks to the panashing.
Can we just like gang bash her right here? Sorn, you could just step in and close the door. I could just slide around behind her and we could all just like...
She is a hag.
I assume this is happening in your brain with your Sorn's super telepathy.
Oh no,
Yama's
Yama says it out loud.
Yama's just gonna put his helmet on, and then it looks like he's really constipated. But he sends a message to Sorn, and he's like, "Step in and close the door."
Oh god, no! I don't know if we should be doing this, but okay, yeah, I can't talk to anyone. In Pauly's brain, it's just like Lou, you've got some apples.
I just want to say, we don't know if she can read minds.
But also, like, what else are we doing here?
We can make this work.
What work?
We don't know where Bevlorna is.
I can take you to go see her. She's not really accepting guests at the moment, but this play seems boring compared to whatever's happening here, so I'm happy to see this tragedy play out. My poor dear sweet sister did come to see me for help, and of course I've let her stay for the week, maybe longer, until she sorts her life out. She's entering into her tragic arc, it seems.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around at the moment.
Can I try my detect thoughts on her?
So you've put the helmet on?
I definitely put the helmet on, yeah.
Now that teacup on your head, on your helmet, and it's a gold helmet, right?
Yeah.
So, in some lights, would this look like is the teacup like a crescent moon, or is it like a half moon?
Shit, I definitely, when I was describing it originally, it's like a half, it's like a crescent moon. It's like a really cool fucking thing. So, yes, it is moon shaped.
Yeah. And it's kind of, okay. So she sees that and sort of rears back and like hackles kind of raised. The skeletal arms sort of twitch. The kind of marionettes at her body sort of like flicker. One of them like holds the little marionette, like holds its hand up. And she hisses, "You will not wear that in my presence."
Well, wait, hey, why? What's wrong? I still have a charm, by the way, don't I? Yeah. What's wrong? What's wrong?
Give me a persuasion check with advantage, Pauly.
Sure. 21.
You, she kind of backs off and says, it's nothing. I just don't like the look, and not in my house. You'll take your hat off in my house. You can tell she's definitely full of shit about just these are the rules of her house.
Yeah.
No insight check needed there. But I'll allow you to make insight checks if you like to kind of get a bit of a deeper meaning. She did roll very well though.
Can I have?
And it's very hard to see her skeletal face below the veil.
Can I have popped off my read thoughts, detect thoughts?
Sure. Yeah. Does she have to make a check against that?
Yes, it's a wisdom. It's only 13. DC 13. Pray for bad juju.
Mm-hmm. You get she's like, they're just the rules of the house. You can't wear helmets inside the house, inside my house.
Yes.
And I will not be disobeyed in this. You hear in her head, so the surface level, you just get the surface level thoughts. You get a no sun, no moon. They must not come together.
Okay, well, Yama, after hearing that, he's just going to whip the helmet off with a flourish, make a deep bow. My apologies, Your Majesty, that it is indeed your home, and I will respect it. Think nothing more of it, and he just kind of pushes the helmet under his pink dress so that it can't be seen.
Yeah, you see her settle down a bit and relax somewhat. She's still a little bit on edge, but yeah.
And Yama's going to make eyes at Sorn, and then let's go see Bavlorna.
Yep. All right. Would you mind showing us to Bavlorna?
She says, I will send for someone now. I realize I have things to attend to. And she'll lead you out.
I tried to nash her again into convincing her to do it. Oh, come on,
Yes, it'll be at disadvantage now though, because there's something she is very unsettled.
I wanted to as she goes, I'll send for someone. I'm going to step in and close the door, and say, I really would like for you to show us the way.
Oh,
I'll still do the persuasion thing anyway. 15 is the roll for that, so she's got to beat a 15. She
got a natty 20.
Oh no!
She is no longer succumb to your bird-like wiles.
Yeah, it's not like they get annoyed if they're charmed.
No, but she's just not. Her attention is not fully on you anymore, and she's kind of scanned the room. She sees kind of the position she's in. She sees Sorn close the door, and what did you say, Sorn? Can you just repeat it?
I said I would really appreciate if it was you that showed us the way, because you did say she's a bit down in the dumps at the moment. She's having a tragic time, and I believe her sister coming to bring her a guest would potentially help.
Perhaps we can raise her spirits in the way that we've raised yours on stage.
Yes. Very well. Let us go. And she waits for you to open the door.
I'll open the door and I'll step out and I'll say, after you.
Yeah, so she'll kind of lead the way back downstairs. I'm just going to move you all.
Still not sure anyway if it's a smart idea that we have both of the hags together.
I just don't want to leave her in a room where she can see the future.
I feel like Karu, if Yama is hanging at the back, Karu is gonna hang at the back with Yama and just be and lean in and whisper "Yo, why did she freak out about your hat?"
She saw She said something in her mind I noticed just before I had to rip the helmet off. She doesn't want the sun and the moon to meet. She said they must not meet. So perhaps this is her weakness and we can take advantage of it somehow.
The thing that I read was something about like she would die if there was an eclipse or something like that.
Yes.
Ah,
Well, she has died before and returned.
Yeah.
Her true death will come during an eclipse.
I think Karu's like Karu just like leans into Yama. He's like, yeah. So the thing I read, the other thing in the other room said that like she'll die for real because she's died before, but she'll die for real if there's an eclipse. So that's probably what it is. So do we need to wait for an eclipse to try and kill her?
Perhaps we can artificially create one?
Yeah, but it doesn't why would a real eclipse kill her? Do we even know when the next eclipse is?
Well, perhaps we could have used the calendar.
Oh, fuck.
Are you guys thinking while talking? Like thinking about what you're saying?
Yes, I think that's how brains work.
Yeah, good. So Sorn is getting like snippets of this conversation and he's like, make an eclipse. We need something really bright. Like all in Sorn's mind.
So does that blast out? Because you're the sort of epicenter of this telepathic network. You've got the warlock telepathy thing, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna like I'll relay that back.
He's just thinking about ways that he should probably try and murder her.
Pauly
I'll
gets
relay that
that
back to
thread.
the two smart people other than me in the group. Pauly, it just like bounces like it's like her just keeps going. Bounce it off the wall next to me.
He's like right behind her the whole time, Pauly. Like he's right behind her.
Karu, you give me a perception check. As you were the one that went out and looked at the ornithopter.
16.
Looking in the night sky, you didn't see any storm clouds, despite there being sort of lightning and stuff like that raining down from the sky. They're not like it's almost like it's not coming from anywhere. It's coming from just like an empty sky, and that's the only light apart from very faint stars in the sky. The occasional cloud and things like that, but this lightning just lances down almost out of the heavens. You did not see a moon in the sky.
You're muted again, Cait.
Did we get so lucky?
But like, I think I don't know.
Like she's just taken them out of the sky.
As in, like, the sky that we see in the amphitheater, is it an artificial one? Or are we seeing the actual sky?
You're seeing the actual sky. It's sort of like a glass dome, and above it, it looks like nighttime because there's no sun in the sky. But you definitely didn't see a moon up there either.
I wonder how she... And I think Karu's like, okay, there's no moon in the sky anyway. I wonder how she does that.
Well, this is her realm. I'm sure she can.
So we wouldn't be able to do anything like an eclipse, like forced or waiting for one here.
Could I just hold a lamp and you put my helmet in front of it? Yama's just like,
I mean, if you want to try that, I wonder if you could do a play, and in the play, without her knowing, we do an eclipse, and then we do the whole President Lincoln, shot in the amphitheater. I don't know who that is.
Well, you're the lighting guy, so I'm sure you can make it work. Yeah.
You guys hear in your mind, if you can make something very bright, I can make an orb of darkness to envelop it like an eclipse.
And I'll throw my helmet at it.
This is the thing, is that Karu's like saying, like, this is the thing, like an eclipse. Like, what is it about the eclipse that makes her vulnerable to actual death? Like, is it just a matter of a big ball of light is blocked out by darkness, or is it like a moon-lunar cycle thing? Like, this is what I like. You make an artificial eclipse, that might not be the thing about the eclipse that causes the death,
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
worth a try, but then we show our hand because
Yeah.
she's
I
gonna.
like-
She's gonna.
Surely it's just like a loss of power, right?
I like to
During
think that
moment.
I am a dark elf, so I am the moon. Let's find a light elf, and then we both punch her at the same time.
I mean,
Maybe she dies.
I can technically be a light elf. I'm just like I'm an elf.
Yeah, you're
I'm a sea
pretty
elf.
nice. You're pretty
You guys are
nice.
all
yeah.
speaking in your brains, right? That's what
Yes.
you're doing?
Well,
Okay,
I
cool.
think
Well,
Karu and
I guess I'll-
Karu's been talking out loud. I'm sorry.
yeah,
like,
Karu and
Doing
I
it
are
right now,
totally
Iris.
muttering.
Yeah.
We're muttering at the back of the party,
Yeah.
and Sorn's just
keeping-
listening.
You
Yeah, cool.
probably.
I'll be keeping her attention then. I'll be just chatting inane stuff to her.
Yeah,
you know.
you might hear Karu out loud saying, "Oh, well, I'm a light elf," and then Yama going, "Yeah, you're pretty nice." Like, you're just like, "The fuck?"
And Sorn's just like scratching the back of his head as he walks through. Just like, oh god.
I feel like anyone who overhears Karu and I would have no comprehension of what we're talking about.
Sorn doesn't comprehend it. Sorn likes to think he knows you guys very well. Still has no idea.
Well,
That's
hey,
so-
I'm really shiny.
You are really
Could you
shiny.
just- Mm.
I was going to say, so by this time you've sort of passed through down the stairs. You've passed by these sort of two rusty suits of armor, equipped with halberds, flanking this large stone door. The door is bereft of handles, hinges, or decorations. As Endelyn approaches it, a skeletal version of Endelyn's visage appears on the door. And she kind of waves a hand and it disappears and the door slides open and opens up. And inside you can see the armor kind of steps aside to allow all of you in. Inside the cell, or sort of, I guess, a holding area, you can see a number of cells. Two of them have small lights coming out of them from perhaps small candles. Let me put one in here as well. And Endelyn, in sort of a sing-song voice, says, "Lorna, I've got some visitors for you. You've got some friends." And she gestures to the
This is not going to end well.
to the cell
Just,
here.
there's just no. I'll walk up because it was my. I'll say mentally to everyone, "This is my mission. I'll go deliver the thing. You guys keep her busy."
As you
What's gonna be in there?
as you set the so you can see the four cells from that position. You can see into two of the cells. On one of them, to your right, to the west, you see an elf. Her face, partially hidden under a sun mask, is curled up on a divan, reading a book while sipping wine from a thin crystal goblet. Other items in the cell include a crystal decanter of wine, a bowl of figs on a small table, a gold-embroidered wall tapestry depicting a wooden elven realm, and a porcelain chamber pot decorated with gold filigree. And to the south, you see a similarly anointed chamber, maybe not as nice. There's sort of a bed in there, and there's a sort of a tapestry of a swamp on one wall to kind of make it feel, like Bavlorna's home. But Bavi is sitting on the bed there, watching out the cell with her sort of big beady eyes. Let me show you what these two creatures look like.
I'm getting ideas on the first one.
Yeah, so the elf is one of the acrobats that we. Yeah. There we go.
So wait, the token that you've got. Are you talking about this cell here?
Yep.
That token is the moon.
Yes, but I've only got one token because I've just
Okay.
because I'm lazy. But it's the one with the sun.
Okay. All right.
And then the other one is everyone's favorite.
Good old Bavi. I'm gonna step into the doorway of the cell and be like, "Oh, Bavi, I have a gift for you."
She looks up and looks at you and says, "Oh, if it isn't the King of Shadows."
Yes, the King of Shadows owns up and he fulfills his promises.
I did feel you break that promise.
No. That was look, I'm not gonna make there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I was following an idiot. It's okay. And I'll open the portable hole on the wall next to me and just pull out the portrait she wanted and push it into the cell and then like sub in the hole back into my jacket.
And she says, "You broke the contract."
I am honoring the contract. I can honor it more if you'd like.
The contract was that you would deliver this to me before you left the realm of Prismere. You broke that contract when you left.
I mean, I was following an idiot. I kind of got swept up in some nonsense. I came straight back. Well, how about this? I'll pop the hole open again and I'll grab the portrait of the dead one and give her that. I'm like, how's to sound? And summon the hole back.
Portraits don't really help me from in here. I think at this point, like, Endelyn seeing this is kind of like
Exchange.
Seeing this exchange is kind of like reveling in it for a little while, but gets a little bit bored. And unless you attempt to stop her, Pauly, I think she's going to try and walk out.
Well, I mean, she's in the cell's locked, you said, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Endelyn's going to walk out.
Sorry, Endelyn, not Bavlorna.
Yeah. No, I understand that. Yeah, I'm going to point to the elves. I'm just going to keep trying to yap away. At,
sure. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, with you're kind of keeping her there. That's fine. I just wanted to see if you are keeping her there. Or
no, that was it. Yeah, I'm just like pointing out random things. Like everything I see, I'm just trying to like do small talk and then like, oh, so who are these elves?
Yeah. And she'll tell you about. Oh, I got this one from the Witchlight Carnival. She's decided to make her home here for some time. They come in a set, but I just kept this one. Like telling you about that.
Sometimes there's a better. There's a better pick. One of them's better than the other one in a set. I understand.
So back over to Sorn, or I'll take a sec to anyone else who's doing anything in this room before I continue.
Didn't she say something about the sun and the moon must never meet? So maybe do we even just need to be a bit more literal and find the moon?
Yeah, the moon elf.
Can we roll like an intelligence check here or something? Because I'm dumb.
Sure.
But maybe Yama's less dumb.
So what is your corridor of thinking? Like, what is your train of thought? And then perhaps give me a investigation, or I'd even accept like maybe an insight or a history.
Well, I'm kind of wondering if either we need to find the other acrobat, the moon, and push them together in front of her, or physically manipulate that room that has the Ori in it to maybe create an artificial eclipse and push her off a bridge at the same time. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll accept sort of an investigation or an insight or something along those lines.
Investigation. Insight's a +1. Let's go with that one.
Oh.
And Karu, if you're doing the same, because Pauly's kind of keeping her busy, you two are kind of having this.
We're the ones
and
making
forth.
a plan.
Yeah, so I was just going to wait. But the way Karu's kind of thinking about it, he says, like, he actually kind of has, like, lots of knowledge around, like, fiends and shit like that. And I think he's trying to think of, like...
Oi.
Does that extend to Fae for the demon?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the damn thing that describes it, which is really annoying. Oh, Fae, fiends, and undead.
Sure.
Yes. I have advantage on wisdom checks about it. But, like... Yeah, I think his train of thought is like, maybe he's trying to think of like, is there a situation, like, because he's really like wondering, like, does it have to be a naturally occurring eclipse? Is it actually an eclipse? Like, I know he's going very literal with it. And he's trying to think of like, in the realm of like Fae and fiends and undead that he knows of, like, do they get impacted by naturally occurring phenomena that way? Like, do they gain a weakness similar to how like werewolves are, prone to being vulnerable to shape-shifting at full moon kind of thing? I think he's going down that vibe of thinking.
how do you feel about a wisdom-based nature check?
Sure. I get advantage on it. But except I'm not using hearing or smell. Never mind.
No, because it's part of Fae. Like these hags are Fae creatures. So
do it.
And it's a wisdom-based checks on Fae, fiends, and undead, right?
Well, it's weird. It's like wisdom bracket survival checks, which is weird. That's for tracking, but I imagine that like
I'm happy to allow it because I think it's definitely in your wheelhouse of a blood hunter. And as you described it, like, is this a natural thing? It's sort of the state of these kind of creatures.
So what do I do, sorry?
So wisdom nature. So I think you get to add your. Actually, just give me a nature check with advantage. Actually, it is better.
Cool. 14. Like Karu and Yama in the corner, just like back to back, going.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
So,
not talking, just.
Yama, you've definitely gone like, okay, sun and moon. You know, I think you're thinking of like, do we just need to get these two people and mash them together?
Or some kind. Yeah, he's thinking physically.
Yeah.
Let's create this event.
With a 14 nature, Karu, you also so Yama, you're like, oh, maybe that'll work. Like, you know, she's separated them. Maybe like these two people together is what she means. Karu, with a 14 nature, you think that it doesn't necessarily need to be literal in terms of the moon needs to be like the real moon in the sky needs to be in front of the sun. Your comment about shapeshifters, perhaps you've seen or read a story of a werewolf transforming when just exposed to a bright circular white light. So you don't think it maybe needs to be literal? It maybe needs to be more literary. Or symbolic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think Karu, like, after doing a few more Mr. Bean facial expressions, like, kind of turns back to Yama and just whispers, like, yeah, I don't think we need to wait for a real eclipse. I think we could, like, make a thing that is like that represents an eclipse. And, like, she's all theater-based, so it could be a play.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to quote you, not literal, more literary.
Yeah, but do you think she'd let us perform again?
I mean, she said she liked the show, right? We could
Yeah,
argue,
we were pretty good the first time.
We could argue that she hasn't seen my acting chops yet.
True.
Like that, if she doesn't seem like interested, we do have to come up with something. We can't just be like, "Oh, I was going to do a show." Like we literally have no idea what to do.
I feel like the weakness of this is maybe we could do a private show for her. But if we're down on the stage performing and she's up in her like box.
Well, what if we say that? What if the captain becomes the stagehand, but he's not?
Oh,
and he
disappears.
Her. He's sneaky.
Yeah, while she's weak.
Yeah, I think the only problem there is we don't know how much she needs to die. Gaming terms, like how much damage we need to inflict. But like Pauly is our most damaged. Like the captain is the one that does the most damage, and is particularly if he's being sneaky, he seems to do more damage.
You're right, he is pretty damaged.
Maybe he could even just like push her off the balcony so that we can all, he could fly down and we can finish her off.
Well, yeah, I guess there is that concept of like we could do a play, we could have an eclipse in the play. Sorn could do his darkness thing that he mentioned.
Yep.
Maybe it just encases her. Who knows? Maybe it is a ball in front of the light, whatever. And then maybe Pauly gets it. But it would be better if we could all get to her quickly, because we don't want to leave Pauly in a situation where he's the only, like, it doesn't work and then he's there by himself.
Yeah, for sure. For
So
sure.
to be fair, he's the one person out of all of us that could get away quick.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have some spells we could back him up. Plus, you have those lightning slippers now. You could get there in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah, I could take you too.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, maybe this is perfect then.
Maybe we could try this, but we've got to somehow communicate this with the captain while he's talking to her.
And I'm just yapping away still, just speaking inane crap.
I'll leave a mental voicemail.
I'm trying to charm her though. Like I'm trying to like I'm giving her compliments, saying how like it's just hard to find good jail cells with thick bars these days. You've done well.
Yeah, often like they're weirdly spaced apart that like a child could sneak through.
Absolutely,
could like slide through sideways, or like an elf, and you got to pay extra for the double barring to make sure it's skinny enough that elves can't just.
You know what?
Get out.
Like the cost shows. You've done excellent. Yeah, good choice in contractors.
Yeah.
Yama's gonna like maybe saunter over at this point, and he goes, "I've seen a poodle escape through some bars before."
Brilliant. On that, sorry, unless you had more there.
No.
I will cut back to Sorn and Bavlorna now that Sorn's had a bit of a feed. He's got a bit of energy, bit of pep.
I'm back.
She says, "Poor little King of Shadows. You broke the contract. You failed to uphold your end of the contract. You broke its terms. That puts you at my mercy."
I mean, you are kind of in a jail cell, to be fair.
Yes, and there it is. Sorry, I need Bavlorna's voice. I need to...
Really drive it home.
I know how you're going to make it up to me, you handsome man.
I'm
You
listening.
sweet, supple... Oh, your skin. She kind of reaches through the bars. It's so soft and moist. Her skin, dry, cracking. She never got her pool fixed. Yama just fucked off.
We did a lot of that for a little while.
Yeah.
We just kept leaving.
Give me an Arcana check.
Alrighty. 21.
You're pretty confident that because you've broken the contract, it's like she's been able to, initiate the repo clause kind of thing, right? And that's what you've been feeling over the last couple of days. Returning giving her and fulfilling your end of the contract is good and does let you kind of begin to close it out, but she's still kind of got you over a barrel here. And unfortunately, there's sort of really two ways out that you feel. One is murder, and the other is convincing her to release her hold on you. Essentially doubling down and making a new bargain.
A new deal. Maybe the death of her sister?
I think that's what she wants. I think that's where it's going. I will speak to her mentally.
Mm-hmm.
What is it you want?
Well, my sister's accommodations are lovely, but I need to be getting back to my swamp, to my poor little bullywugs who are just going to be lost without you and me.
Oh no, they know what they're doing.
I noticed.
I let them making a sausage sizzle.
I noticed those sweet smells coming out. I went down there and they let me try some fly sausages and spiders in a bun. So precious. Perhaps, though, you and I can return there, King of Shadows. They listen to you, and you and I could hold hands, return to the swamp together and rebuild my realm. Don't you want that realm? You can lord over, do what you want with the bullywugs, I don't care.
How are you going to leave here? You are locked in a cell.
Well, I know you're not just a pretty face. I'm sure you're very smart. You get me out of here, convince Endelin that you need me.
Well, we're going to have to...
You need me.
We're going to have to, realistically, she's not going to let you leave.
She won't keep me in here forever. She just wants me to suffer a little bit. But we're sisters. We go back a long way.
Well, don't you want her to suffer and then stop suffering very quickly?
What do you have in mind?
I mean, if I can convince her to let you out of your cell, she's not going to be happy when you try to leave. I feel she'll try and fight us. And what happens then? You know what happens when someone tries to fight, they die.
You're absolutely right. So that's why just letting me out of this cell is not going to be enough, my Sornikins. That's why I think if you can bring me back home, help me get my affairs in order, and then we can consider our pact done.
Hold that thought. Someone's going to take a step back.
Yeah.
And mentally, just look over his shoulder quickly at Yama and Karu and be like, she wants us to kill Endelin. Do I tell Endelin that this is what she wants and get Endelin to kill her and then we...
Oh.
What?
I feel like my expression in real life is Karu's expression. He's just like wide-eyed, like,
do you think they would actually follow through, though? They've been related for a very long time.
She just asked me to kill her.
Yeah.
Now, can I interject as the DM? She did not ask you that, but Sorn is putting that in. I'm going to require a deception check here.
Well, this is what Sorn thinks
Sure.
is being asked, to be fair. Deception?
Yeah. I mean, your deception is pretty good. So anyone who wants to question this can make an inside check, but I just don't want it to go uncontested sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, just on the basis of oh, never mind.
Karu's
like,
yeah.
All right, let's kill her. I believe Sorn. I always believe Sorn.
He's a real trustworthy guy.
Nudges you in the ribs. Sorn, are you sure that's what she was asking? Because seriously, they're sisters.
All right, let me check. Give me a second. I'll step back in. Oh, Bavi? Just to be clear, are you asking me to murder your sister?
Oh, no. No, she's my sister.
I look back over my shoulder at Yara and go, she didn't want murder. I misinterpreted. That's my bad.
Yeah, I think so. Because, I mean, I hate my brother, and, I would see him dead, but I don't think I could do it or tell someone to do it, or...
It's fine, I'll do it. Don't worry. Next time we see him, he's dead. And someone just, thumbs up over the shoulder. He's like, I got you, bro.
Yama's just stupefied,
okay.
You're resourceful. Gleam told me as much.
Gleam is pretty cool.
Return with me hand in hand. Be my king of shadows in the swamp.
Do you know much about these doors? If I need to get you out, do you know anything about how to open them?
Excellent question. I mean, that's probably a question that Dan should know. There's my prison sheet.
Good old prison sheet.
Yeah. So on the outside of each wall, well out of the reach of the cell doors themselves, there are 4 levers.
And you would assume this lever, this cell.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Well, we definitely don't want to fight 2 hags at one
No.
time.
No. We definitely want to keep one in there. Alright, I'll step back. We're like, it's lovely chatting to you. I'll think on what you said, but I'll take back the second portrait and put it in the hole. We're like, there's your portrait. I said I'd get it for you. I'll think on this. I'll figure it out.
And how was my dear sister?
Splitting headache. That's all I got.
Give me another deception check.
That's so good.
Okay. Can I guidance myself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll well.
21.
She kind of smiles at that.
25.
Yeah. Yeah, she smiles at that. So she's obviously taking pleasure in her sister's pain. But yeah, there's certainly a line there, right? Like they don't mind seeing each other suffer. But family's family.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Splitting headache. Anyway, I'll think on what you said. I know where you are now. Don't go anywhere. And then I step out of the way of the door. Let me out.
Yeah.
Walks back very quickly.
I'm gonna. Before I step out of the way, I'm gonna glance to my right, over here, and just see the other elf, and be like, And then I'm gonna make my way back towards Endelin.
Yeah, she looks up from her book that she's reading. She's reading a light novel, and kind of glances at you through the mask. Can't tell if she raises an eyebrow at you.
I will relay to the party mentally. I believe the sun is in that cell right there.
And you come back to Endelin just as Yama is saying, "Oh, my friend and I were just chatting, and he was just so upset that he wasn't part of the play. Maybe we could do another one for you."
Yeah, Kara's like, yeah, like, I like being a stagehand. And it was really good doing lighting, but like, I'd really like to like show you what I can do on stage. I reckon it'd be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, you should see his insane acrobatics. Like, you have not seen anything like this.
Totally.
Totally.
Another turn on my stage. Perhaps I have convinced you to stay a while and enter into my employ.
Well, I mean, technically, I haven't been on your stage yet, so like, it's not another turn for me. But I do need like my crew, like.
Yeah, I think we should see the gauge the reception to the full troupe. The whole party, and maybe it goes really well, and we get a lot of accolades, and then we sign up.
Like, you've definitely presented a really interesting employment opportunity, but like, we kind of,
we have to be worthy.
It's like probation, we need to know if we're really a good fit for you. We don't want to like sign on to anything and then find out that you actually don't like anything we do. So we just want to give you another chance to like see what we can do.
Yeah, we've only played in taverns so far. Everyone's usually a little bit drunk, so
yeah, we rely on that. This is like a real pressure point.
That's okay. If there's any things I don't like, I give notes.
Good. We're open for criticism always.
Yeah, we welcome your feedback.
This is how you learn. This is how you get better. Karu's just like.
Very well. You may stay in the troop quarters tonight. We have a full bill of plays going ahead. I will ask one of I will ask the maitre d' to schedule your play in. What is its title?
Uh,
Um,
I was about to say the sun and the moon, and then I was like,
I was about to say the eclipse, and I was like,
I was going to say the bereaved eclipse. So
let's call it the tortoise and the hare.
She says, "Oh, very interesting. Well, I will look forward to seeing this tomorrow. Until then, you may look around in the props department for anything to help you get this play up and running, anything you need. I have important studies to attend to."
that sounds ominous.
We'll see you on the morrow.
And she walks out.
I'm not going to walk out.
Yeah, Yama just like deflates basically.
and Karu gives you a thumbs up, like, yeah, good stuff. And then turns to Pauly and goes, so anyway, Captain, we need to put on another show tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah, do you think you could write a play for us about a sun and a moon?
we need to around the theme of an eclipse, basically.
Yep.
Sorn's just
Yeah,
going to
let's-
stand in the front of this cell. And just
How
like,
much,
oi,
how much sex can we involve?
I mean, as much as you think is appropriate for that kind of story.
I'm only good at writing smut.
You're good at that's fine. I feel like
As
I can
long as there's
counteract
like
that.
a full moon butt involved.
Yeah,
I'm sure
oh
it's
my
very on brand.
Yeah. There will be moons. There will be moonings for sure. This is already so
Okay.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to stand in the doorway or the gateway of the cell of the sun. And I say, oi.
Yeah. She sort of takes her book down a little bit, and says,
Where's the moon?
my sister is out in yon somewhere. I think she's not allowed in here. Endelin took us from the carnival, but only brought me into her theatre. We thought it was for a big acrobatic show, but it turns out no. She's just
Insane?
yes.
Yeah.
I think-
Well,
I think-
and then
I was gonna say Karu probably like comes over as well because you're talking to this chick,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Is your masks like? Is it just a mask? Or has it got like power or something? Like if I made a mask and then we did an acrobat show together, and I did a moon mask, would that work?"
She says, I suppose so. I mean, she takes the mask off. She's like, there's nothing super special about it.
Yeah, it's a symbol. Yeah, okay.
can I borrow your mask? I'll return it to you. We just want to try something.
Sure. I mean, can you perhaps get me out of here? If
Yeah.
my sister and I can reach the Fey beacons, we could probably get back to the carnival.
Maybe we can
We'll get you back there.
Yeah.
Eventually.
But maybe you could be in our show. Maybe you should be in our show. And then
I'll take the mask and then I'll like hand over my costume coat that I'm still wearing.
Give me a
Like, let's
persuasion check.
disguise
I
you.
think she's not super willing to let this go. Like this is, you get the feeling that this is something obviously special to her. It's not a special magic, but it's, yeah. Let me see here.
We will help you. Just not right this second.
She says, okay, I'm gonna want this back though. My sister
Oh,
has
that's
like a
fine.
matching, it's part of a set.
Yeah, of course. I don't want to keep it. We just heard some stuff about sun and the moon and spider bitch. So we're just trying to work some shit out.
Oh yeah, she's she's paranoid that she can only be destroyed for good during an eclipse.
Yeah, so we're going to create an eclipse.
Okay, well, I mean, if you were to somehow create like a moon, and I could like stand behind it wearing my mask.
Yeah, I can blob a darkness ball, block out the sun.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of what I was getting at. Like, if we could get her to be in our show, like, I could wear a moon mask, and then that whole symbology shit's going. We can do a thing that looks like a acrobats thing, but it's actually, her getting behind me, and then, ooh, it's an eclipse.
Yeah, I mean, if she sees that happen, she's going to know her doom is at hand, and is going to be on the defensive.
What if we...
Yeah, absolutely. But we can go there now. We can just go straight there now. And just go straight to her. Where she's gone to her study. Like, we'll just walk up to her study. And then I'll be like, here's the moon. Darkness. Eclipse. Done. And then we kill her.
She's like in her bed and we all just appear at the foot of her bed.
Go to sleep.
Super weird.
Just wailing on her.
Yeah, we just start like acting out this play while she's trying to sleep.
No, not even the play. Let's take the sun, create an eclipse in front of her face right now before she has a chance to even like predict what's going to happen, and then we just wail on her until she can't be wailed on anymore.
Do you think that's what? Sorry, do you think that's what she's doing in her study right now? Is like she's kind of cottoned on to us, and she's now like going to go forecast the future.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I reckon we go now. We got to go now. This is it. It's now or we die.
Well, I definitely want to see her use the device. So maybe
I'll figure out the
Captain
device.
can go sneak.
I can be sneaky.
I can be sneaky.
We are going to have to take out these rusty things on the way through, though. So they're kind of barring our exit.
They... Like, if you move towards them, like, they'll move out of the way for you guys to leave, it looks like. You're relatively confident, I think, that if you leave this room, you won't easily be able to get back in.
Wait a minute. How wide? I just want to check something. Here we go. 6 feet in diameter. I'm trying to think, can I just open a portable hole under one of them and then close it?
What? I don't think we have to fight these things, right? We just need to walk out.
They won't let us back in. We need to get her out. I feel like they're not going to let her leave.
Yeah,
or open the door and I'll just teleport her through. Like that.
Bavlorna?
No, the sun. Fuck
Do we
that
need
Lorna. I don't
her?
care about her. She scares the shit out of me.
Well,
Do
do we need the acrobat if we're just going to go to her now?
Yeah, I was like, the whole point about the
We need the
acrobat
eclipse.
Was for... Yeah, but we could just
put
make
the
a paper
mask.
sun and a fucking moon and just...
That's going to take more time.
We could have someone moon Evelyn and then put the sun behind their butt. Like,
Yes.
Well,
I
you're not
already
doing
have
it-
my helmet. She freaked out about my crescent moon helmet before. I'm sure we could just put that in front of...
we could.
No, that's a
Just
good
something
point.
Shiny.
We could literally.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah.
I know what we do. She's scared of your moon helmet. And I'm going to like put my hand through the bars and be like, can I please have the sun mask? Please, I'll bring it back. I'll let you out in a second. Like, we'll be back.
Okay, sure.
I take the mask, I put it on, and I stand right behind Yama with like Karu on the other side. And I just move my head from side to side. I'm like, eclipse? No eclipse.
One thing I will say, Kara's like, one thing I will say is like, if it was that simple, it would have been done by accident. It's like, surely. Like,
But this
Yeah,
is
that's why she locked this
works so
person
hard
up.
Yeah.
the other thought I had was the reason why I was like, we like make a show of it is that if it doesn't work, then we can
We
feign
play it up
ignorance.
cool.
We feign ignorance of like, oh, this is a story. Like, if it doesn't work and she doesn't die, or whatever, or I don't know, we don't see an effect, then like we can feign ignorance that we didn't know. 'Cause she doesn't know we know. But like,
She will know by morning.
how
So
do you know that for sure?
The
That thing out there reads the future.
the lady in the cell, says creating an eclipse doesn't kill her. She can be destroyed for good. She won't come back.
So
Yeah.
we still have to
So
kill her.
I think she's still going to know that you're trying to kill her.
There's no like tell. I would have thought there would be a tell that it like works.
Oh, that.
Like,
yeah, I mean, well, I
like-
guess
like-
it's hard to know if that will. I mean, she
I-
seems to believe it, but
yeah.
just making a eclipse obviously puts her on edge because that makes her mortal while the eclipse is in effect.
Yeah.
Oh, she
just-
has to die while Sorn is standing behind me.
I'll just stick the mask to the back of your mask. And then we wail on her. She's gone to check the future. Like, she's going to know by morning. So then, like, there's a very good chance that we have a repeat of what happened with old mate Bavy over there, where she wiped out half of a city, town, village, whatever you want to call it. Blink of an eye. But this time, everyone here is on her side, so she'll just wipe us out. At least this way we have a chance. We still have the element of surprise for now.
Yeah, well, she won't see anything in that machine if we decide not to do anything. Right now.
She'll, yeah. But then if we think that we're going to do it later, then she might see it in the machine. This is a whole paradox thing. Time magic is bad. I vote we kill her now.
I do feel a bit rushed. Like we should.
Still so uncreative, but whatever.
I enjoy the creative side more.
Yeah.
As in putting on a play.
Yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah. Theatrics, baby, theatrics.
All right. Well, I'm not an actor, remember? I'm the King of Shadows here to drop off a painting. I just got thrown into it by her.
Yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. It'll be fun. Let's do it that way.
Well,
Just to be clear, does she see all of us as an acting troupe? Because I said I was separate to them?
I mean, at this point, the way you've presented yourself is almost like you're their manager, but also occasionally jump on stage to join in. Based on what's happened so far.
Okay.
Because you're like, oh, I'll introduce you to them. I'll bring them up here. You know, it's almost like you're their agent.
Well, I am the Shadow King.
That's right.
You could always be upstairs to negotiate the contract.
Yeah. If we're at a bit of an impasse now in terms of what you want to do, what I'm happy to do, it is 9 o'clock. We can call it there on an early session. Between this time and next week, you can perhaps have a bit of a chat on what the plan is.
At a meta level, I am down to do literally anything.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to do the play, we'll do the play. I'm good with that. Just in a character level, Sorn's just like, I know that she reads the future, and I don't want her to do that.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair assessment as well. But it feels like we've stalled a little bit in terms of perhaps we're running low on batteries and in trying to work out what the next plan of action is. It sounds like you have a basic plan of create an eclipse. It's just, do you do it now and jump her, or do you try and set something up between now and doing the play, or do it during the play? I'm not, a bit unsure. So let's take that offline perhaps, and we can work out what would be fun to do, and we'll hopefully resume next week.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
I'm down for that, and now I'm going to potentially die. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try this pain.
Is it a spicy thing?
This is the one from Hot Ones. This was the original last dab before they made the last dab.
Oh, great.
Why?
Great way to end.
Why are you doing this to yourself?
I want to give it a...
I want to
Dab.
feel
Little-
something.
I feel like there's the tiniest drop. That's what they say. Have literally the smallest drop. Because it's like, I think it's like 150,000 Scovilles, which is a lot hotter than a Carolina Reaper. And all the reviews online say it feels hotter than a million Scoville sauce.
Oh, well, we're here for it. Chat's here for it, and then we'll.
We're here to see.
Go to the DB cam.
Here we go, DB cam. Where's it, Sorn?
Oh god, it's getting hot. It's getting real. It's like I don't think I got enough.
Josh is saying do more anyway.
Oh,
So I can like tap it on the spoon and get more. I'm not going to eat a spoonful. Hell no. Oh, that's a lot.
Can you show the camera?
That is. Oh Jesus! I got it on my mouth pad as well.
wipe
Oh, it burns my nostrils.
Oh my god!
I'm not going to eat it like that. I'm definitely not going to do that. That's not a good idea. I just need to get it off my mouse pad.
I don't think it's the da bomb. I think it's the final dab, right?
No, this one is Da Bomb. So this was like the OG one. Another chip. Just need to open up Twitch real quick. So I want to see what Josh is saying. Here we go.
This is how we kill off DB's characters.
Yeah, there's probably about to be a space open in this D&D game as Sorn blows his entire mouth open. If anyone's keen, we might need someone next week.
I think that's a decent amount.
He'll still be on the toilet later.
Ugh.
You crying?
How you doing, buddy? How's the King of Shadows?
The King of Shadows is pretty good.
Oh.
Does it taste like battery acid?
Yes, it tastes like battery acid. The aftertaste is very metallic because they used a like a pepper extract that they made, so it tastes really weird. Oh,
No flavor, just hot.
yeah, it's literally no flavor, just pain.
Fuck that.
Yeah, no, thank you.
You're getting sweaty.
I am very, very warm.
All right. Well, that's a great spot to call it on this week's session of D&D. Next week, you'll have to tune in. If you haven't already, make sure you follow because you'll have to find out if we ever go live again, and if that chair is empty next week, you'll know why. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Obviously, Josh, Spacehawks. Enjoying the story as it goes along, and we'll send our thoughts and prayers to Sorn, to Dylan and his mouth. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.